friends. Steve here, and we are in the last 3 weeks of the Mayan calendar year, which when I did the tarot reading a year ago at this time, I pulled 2 cards about what was going to be going on over the course of this Mayan calendar year. And the 2 cards I got were the major arcana, the Tower card, which is about reality collapsing. It's called the Tower card, and it's about reality collapsing. And then the other card we got was the Hanged One, which is about how to make a video while your cat's crying. No, it's not about that. She is crying because I'm hiding out. Not hiding because she knows where I am, but I'm sequestering myself in the one-person sauna, which is about the size of a phone booth. And it has a glass door so the light can come in. And it has a red light, but I've realized it's kind of bizarre looking when I have the red light on. So we got the Tower card about the crumbling of reality, and we got also the Hanged One, which is about changing your perspective on how reality ought to be and exploring new ways for us to be in this reality as it's crumbling. So that was the 2 cards we got for the year. And I did a card reading today, which I'll make a video about later because this video is going to be about what I wrote earlier today. But I'll make a video about the cards we got today. But this is the last 3 weeks of the Mayan calendar year, and I'm going to write about what I woke up, the consciousness I woke up with this morning. So this morning I went from waking up in a mild panic as the July 3rd fireworks show was going off for hours last night after dark. Well, before and after dark. I mean, the explosions were fairly continuous for 2 to 3 hours. And so this morning, I turned on my transparent communication course. And it's on my computer. It's an online course that I just paid for, and then can go through the course whenever I want. It's self-paced, and it's the best deal ever. The course, the not recorded, but the online course with 2 instructors costs something like $1,200. When the 2 human instructors are present throughout the course with live meetings and all. But this online course is $200, and my father is a Scotsman, and it just feels like a really good deal. And I don't have to remember anything because I can just go back and watch it again and again as long as me and my computer keep functioning, which is something I hold as an intention, that me and my computer keep functioning. So today's lesson was about belonging and becoming. It was about stillness and movement. And it was about being present to what is, which is what arises when we are still and begin to notice what is moving or being kept from moving in our bodies and our minds and our emotions and our energy centers. Today may need to be a day of meditation. It seems that fireworks are going off all over the planet. Some of them purportedly celebrating freedom from oppression for some, therefore celebrating oppression for others. It seems a bit of a crazy, mixed up world, and I spent around 3 days recently releasing and integrating the Trail of Tears that had arisen in a session, which is about many in the native population being force-marched across this country to reestablish them on new reservations. And they have many reservations, as do we all. From my meditation, from the Transparent Communication course, I went to writing a post. And then I listened to a song, and then went upstairs to see if my wife wanted a morning card reading. And goodness, it was a good one. I'll go over, the reading was, a world card reading that was cards pulled for my wife and myself. But the card was about how to work with the energies of the world currently. I see my wife and I, as I see all partnerships, sort of an opportunity to release and integrate the old story of Adam and Eve. And I switched it around a little bit. So I said, in this case, it is Saint Eve, so S-T-E-V-E. I was trying to be smart, but Saint Eve, and Dhyama, which is sort of using the words of Adam to create a reality similar to my wife's name. But anyway, characters like everyone else, half male energies and half female energies, yet possibly created by a male dog who was just messing with reality. In one of the stories he said, "You can eat of any fruit in this garden except the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil." And then I think it said, if you eat of that fruit, you surely will die. Yet the mind of the serpent said, dog just doesn't want you to know the truth. So he is saying, don't eat the truth. You'll get fat. So they ate the fruit, and then Eve got blamed, and Adam says he didn't do it, she did it, and all that stuff that's been going on since then. And they lost their right to have nothing happening, which it seems like that was what was going on in the garden. Didn't seem to be much happening, eating fruit, and don't eat that fruit. Oh, we ate that fruit. Now you have to go out and struggle. Now you have to go into the world and make something happen. And then their kids started fighting. The good one died. The evil one took over. And it continues. So, the bad apple. And here I am writing on an apple, spying all the time. One commenter on my channel wrote something like, "Why are all these commenters on your channel psychotic?" I wrote back and asked him a lot of questions. One of them being, what is psychotic? And then I was thinking about it. Pretending things are one way when one is experiencing them in another way. That would be possible experience of psychosis. Or reading a definition that someone made up to define a state where one is feeling wrong and pretending it is right. So I went to the computer, search psychosis. It's a noun, but nouns are supposed to be something. But in NLP they asked, is something only something if you can put it in a wheelbarrow and carry it around? And I guess for people with psychosis, maybe they could. It's a noun because they can put their psychosis in a wheelbarrow and carry it around. But the definition is an acute or chronic mental state marked by loss of contact with reality. And just a little side note, reality is a construct. It's made up. And then they also said, disorganized speech and behavior. Whoops. My hand goes up. And often by hallucinations or delusions. Just imagine a golden crown chakra above your head and golden light coming down through your spine and through your feet and going to the healing center of the earth. Could be a hallucination. And is it not a hallucination because you actually, when I mention it, you actually feel it, see it, experience it? Hallucinations or delusions seen in certain mental illnesses, such as schizophrenia, which I believe is you perceiving the world differently than they would have you perceive it. And other medical disorders. Oh, we must have order here. That was the first description of psychosis. And the second description of psychosis is any vital action or activity. Vital means it has life. So that's a description of psychosis. Any vital action, if you're taking any vital action or involved in any activity that has life, you're psychotic. And finally, we get to a severe mental disorder. Sometimes with physical damage to the brain. They might be talking about vaccinations in this description, or something else, but might have been the vaccine. Marked by a deranged personality and distorted view of reality. A severe mental disorder, sometimes with physical damage to the brain, marked by a deranged personality and a distorted view of reality. deranged. It's off the track. It's not following orders correctly. It's not watching YouTube enough. It's not being programmed through Facebook to behave in a particular fashion. Okay, let's review and renew this. Acute or long-term perception that one's government cares about. Oh, that. Okay, I got distracted because I wrote acute. Acute or long-term perception that one's government cares about them. That war is the answer to most questions, and a tendency to speak out against injustice, like Martin Luther King, and then needing to be silenced for disrupting the program. Any vital action or activity? Question mark. Isn't this a schizophrenic act? Putting vital action or vital activity below the above definition about psychosis? Being losing contact with reality, which is all made up? Thinking that one's perception could possibly be seen as sane when it is opposite the programmed version of reality. There's another definition. Thinking that one's perception could possibly be seen as sane when it is opposite the programmed perception of reality. And then I asked the question, and I wrote it donut. Donut these definitions seem to create psychosis? The way they define it, then I think I'm going to say, you all, I think you all are all crazy. Or are we all crazy? Well, if we just have a war, that eliminates large segments of the population, and we can just get back to having indentured servants like the good old boy days, and let them smoke weed. It's no longer harmful or will lead to stronger drugs. That was then, this is now. Now, everyone should smoke weed. Yeah. And everybody should look up what sanity is in the dictionary on your computer. Because this new definition of sanity has to do with ignoring what your own sensing is, what your own perception is, and just trust that what you're being fed is safe and effective. And I'll repeat that same 3 times. Safe and effective. Safe and effective. We care about you. We care what you're thinking, so we can alter that thinking before it disrupts the system that is barely being held in place. So it's good that we got those 2 tarot cards, which are both major arcanas, for this Mayan calendar year that's going to be ending in 3 weeks. And a whole new reality is going to begin on the 26th of July. And it will be a new reality because everything that has gone up to then will be done. And then it's a fresh start, and we'll see what we do with it. And it is valuable what we do with it for the next 3 weeks. So I'm going to be doing what I do, which is my soul calling, which is making healing videos. And if you go, well, I didn't find this video very healing, well, then that's okay. Walk away. Because someone else might have found this video very healing. And probably they've just given up the idea that they're schizophrenic, and they've just taken on the reality that they're just more aware of most other people. I'd say that'd be my definition of schizophrenic, is a person who's paying attention and realizing that the rest of the world seems crazy, and then how do you live in it? All right. Getting lost in realities is one of my favorite things to do, and this was definitely getting lost in a reality. And there's going to be 3 videos to prove that I oftentimes am lost in my own reality. And sometimes people notice that it sounds correct to them. And then there's more of us on the dream team that we spell DRIAMTIAM, simply because I always wanted to answer yes when they asked, is there an I in team? So I just changed the spelling of team so I could say, yes, I am one of the I's in team. And someday in my dream, everyone will be an I in team. That's my heart's desire. It's my soul's wish and plan, is that we are all awake and not repeating the same thing, just stating what's coming through us that is creative and imaginative and changing the world. Namaste. Now must go. Now can change.